DJI Mini 2, the second generation of DJI's entry-level drones. After Mavic Mini, this is the drone they created, which is capable of doing a lot of things. They added a 4K 30fps camera, but the Mavic Mini had only 2.7K 30fps too. And now in the new update, they made it 2.7K with 60 FPS, which is a great upgrade. This is a best budget drone, which I would recommend to anyone who wants to start filmmaking. Do not spend too much on the other drones, which are expensive, but also professional. But this is a best drone for an entry-level filmmaker. Today, we will discuss about some good features they made in this drone. Hello, welcome to Drone Footages. Today we will find out some new features DJI added to their DJI Mini 2. First, we will talk about the design. It's almost identical to the DJI Mavic Mini, but they have upgraded some features such as the propellers. Also, they have added new motors. But the best thing which everyone cares about is its capabilities. It has a 4K camera, whereas DJI Mavic Mini has only 2.7K. If we talk about its design, DJI has followed its old technique. If ain't broke, don't fix it. DJI Mini 2 also weighs 249 grams, which means in most of the countries, you don't need license to fly the drone. Here in Canada, I don't need to fly a drone which weighs under 250 grams. But before you fly, please check your country's laws. Let's talk about the drone. DJI also added a better wind resistance in this drone as compared to DJI Mavic Mini. They say that it has level 5 wind resistance, which means it will be more stable in air as compared to DJI Mavic Mini. Also, I've noticed that they have increased its speed. DJI Mavic Mini could go only up to 13 meters per second, but this one can go up to 16 meters per second. It is not a great bump, but it is good enough. DJI Mini 2 comes with a controller which is almost same as DJI's Mavic Air's controller. But it is true that it is almost a very good upgrade as compared to DJI Mavic Mini's controller. Now your phone mounts on the top, and which gives you a better grip to hold it. This controller gives the advanced wireless communication and a longer range as compared to the Mavic Mini's controller. I've also used DJI Mavic Mini and I could only go up to 800 to 1000 meters and my screen starts lagging. As long as I used to cross 1000 or 1200 meters, my phone won't be able to show the video transmission from my drone. Also, my phone would give me a warning that my drone is going out of the range. But with this controller, you could go up to 5 to 6 kilometers with a good video transmission. The reason why this controller has a better transmission because it has OcuSync 2.0 transmission in general, which means smart automatic frequency switching that helps in video quality over distance. The good thing about this controller is it has a good grip as compared to DJI Mavic Mini's controller. It is a little bit heavy, but I would say this is better than DJI Mavic Mini. They added the cinematic, normal and sports mode where on your controller rather than switching from your phone's app. You can just directly switch from your controller, which is the feature I liked very much. As suggested by the name, cinematic mode means slow motion, which means the drone goes really slow as compared when you fly in sports mode. But be very careful when flying in sports mode because it won't stop dying when moving that fast. Unlike DJI Mavic Mini, the DJI Mini 2 drone and its controller have a USB Type-C port, which will not just give it a fast charging, but will also improve the data transfer. Also, the joysticks that allows you to control the drone in the mid-air has the same standards as other DJI drones. These sticks are stored under the controller and are really easy to mount and unmount. Let's talk about the camera. DJI Mini 2 comes with 1x2.3-inch camera sensor. It's now able to shoot 4K at 30 FPS, whereas DJI Mini 2 was only able to shoot 2.7K at 30 FPS. Also, they have made a new update which will allow you to shoot 2.7K at 60 FPS only on DJI Mini 2. These extra pixels would help you to view your video on big TVs, such as 55 inches or 65 inches 4K TVs, and you will not see any noise and your video won't be choppy. The camera itself is mounted at the front in a 3-axis gimbal. It's perfectly stable during normal flight times, whereas in windy situation you can see a little bit of shake. It is very minimal that it is very hard to observe. Also, with DJI Mini 2, you can directly transfer the videos from your drone to your mobile via Wi-Fi while flying, which is a very good feature. Also, it gives you an option from shooting from JPEG and RAW. I personally prefer RAW because it gives you more control over the photo, and which means you can also make it better in post-production, such as Photoshop or Lightroom. Also, the RAW captures more detail as compared to JPEG. If you're a filmmaker, you know what I'm talking about. This drone is also capable of taking quick shots like Mavic Mini, like helix shot or rocket shots. But a downside to that is you can only shot quick shots in 1080p. They are not available in 4K yet, which I believe DJI would give an update so we can shoot these quick shots in 4K too. Also, the new feature they added to this drone is panorama. You can actually shoot a panorama from this drone. You just have to tell you what kind of panorama you want, 180, 360, or even wide angle. The drone will take pictures itself and combine them and send it to your phone, which is a really good feature. And one of my favorite features is trim the downloads. It actually allows you to trim the downloads before you transfer them to your phone for editing. But the main feature it lags is hyperlapse and HDRs, which you can see in Mavic Air 2. If we talk about its battery, theoretically they say that its battery lasts long as 32 minutes, which is also true. I have personally tested it and my battery usually lasts long from between 28 minutes to 30 minutes, which is pretty decent. Finally, the safety features while flying the drone. It includes transceivers for GPS and GLONASS positioning. These are the systems which allows the drone to pinpoint a location on the map, which further helps the drone's ability to hover perfectly on a place. At the end, I would say that DJI Mini 2 is still an entry-level drone. We cannot expect it to have those features such as obstacle detection and active track. But I would say this is a best drone for a $500. Also, if you're planning to start filmmaking and planning to buy a drone, I would suggest that this is the drone you should go for. After getting a good hold on this drone, I would say then go to DJI Mavic Air or DJI Mavic Pro. That is all I have to say today. See you in the next one.